Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So today I've got a very important update for you in regards to California's carry ban, also known as SB2, the bill that made it completely unaffordable to go through the application process. And if you did have the money to go through the process, you had to undergo psychological evaluations and a ridiculous amount of background checks and other hoops that you had to jump through. Now, if you actually made it through that process and got your permit, well, there still wasn't just about anywhere that you could actually carry with your permit. Most things are considered off limits and sensitive places. Now, if you remember pre-Bruin, it was nearly impossible to get a permit in most counties in the state of California. Some were better than others, but most counties just came up with whatever excuse necessary to not issue you a permit. And we all thought post-Bruin things are going to get better because the Supreme Court said that you can no longer use good cause or just cause, and the Supreme Court also clarified that we do have a right to carry outside the home for our own defense. Not a privilege, but a right. So we thought, man, things are going to open up in California. But the exact opposite happened with SB2. Well, thankfully, I've got a good update today, so let's talk about it. This video is proud to be sponsored by American Hartford Gold. Listen, if there is one thing that those of us in the firearms community understand, it's that you cannot rely on the government for your protection. Not with your life, and especially not with your wealth. Look, throughout our lifetime, the dominance of the US dollar was unquestioned, but that may be changing. As we face unprecedented inflation, the world's biggest economies are ditching the dollar for the yen. Banks are failing left and right, and the government is discussing a total control of all of your money with the new digital dollar. Don't let your life savings become a casualty of failing corporations or currency wars. Now is the time to call the only precious metal dealer that I trust, American Hartford Gold. They'll show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your wealth portfolio with physical gold and silver. With the finest products, amazing customer service, and a buyback commitment. American Hartford Gold has a 5-star rating from thousands of reviews and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau. American Hartford Gold supports content like this that is committed to bringing you the truth. Tell them I sent you and they'll give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. So call them now. Click the link in the description or call 866-856-2507. That's 866-856-2507 or text COPPER to 65532. Again, that's 866-856-2507 or text COPPER to 65532. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So SB2 was such a huge bill, and it violated people's rights on so many different levels that not all of it has even been implemented yet. As a matter of fact, the next portion of SB2 is set to take effect in January of 2024, and that is going to force applicants to pay the entire cost of the psychological evaluation. So instead of it being like a flat fee of $100 or $150, now you're going to have to pay whatever that psychological evaluation cost. And so that's going to make it even more unaffordable for people in the middle class or people who are less financially stable. The only people in California that are going to be able to afford to get a permit are going to be those who are well off and have a ton of money. So it's basically going to be for rich people in California only. An entire class is basically going to be locked out of getting a permit. Now, I made a video months ago talking about a challenge to SB2, a lawsuit that was filed against SB2 that focused on just the sensitive places aspect of that bill. There were some people in that video that were kind of upset that the entire bill wasn't being challenged, but these groups like the GOA, the GOC, the 2AF, the FPC, they've decided to take an incremental approach to SB2 because it is so large. They want to overturn certain portions of it before they go after kind of, the bigger picture here. But first thing they went after was the sensitive locations aspect of that bill. Well, we've been waiting for, like I said, months now, for quite a while to see anything else happen with SB2, and we finally have another challenge to a big portion of it. This challenge is going to be going after the financial aspect, the time, right, that it's going to be taking, because we have some counties that are taking ridiculous amounts of time to actually issue permits to people that have gone through the entire process and things like that. So finally, another big chunk of SB2 is being challenged. Now, this lawsuit is another strategic lawsuit. And what I mean by that is it's going after a specific aspect of SB2 in order to gut the bill from the inside out. So what this particular one is going after is it's going after the cost and the time and other effects that are being abused in LA County. Now, you might think to yourself, why wouldn't they just go after the SB2 and the delays and the costs and things like that for the entire state? Well, what they're trying to do here is they're trying to set precedent. So they're going after it in the district court, right? And they're going after LA County specifically because of LA County's abuses, but because LA County has such a massive population. I mean, there are several times more people in LA County than there are in the entire state of Nevada. As a matter of fact, there's more people in LA County than in several states across this country. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this lawsuit real quick, and we'll take a look at the plaintiffs and the defendants. One of the defendants being California Attorney General Rob Bonta. Now, you guys ask me all the time, who should we be donating to? You know, what are the groups that support us out here? Well, pay close attention to this. These are the plaintiffs. We have the CRPA, we have the 2AF, Second Amendment Foundation, we have the GOA, the GOF, which is the Gun Owners Foundation, and GOC, which is the Gun Owners of California, and then named individuals down below. Those are going to be your plaintiffs. Now, this is going to be versus Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Sheriff Robert Luna in his official capacity, Laverne Police Department, Laverne Chief of Police Colleen Flores in her official capacity, and Rob Bonta in his official capacity as the Attorney General of the state of California. Now, it says here in the introduction, which kind of tells the court what this challenge is all about, it says, this action challenges the constitutionality of carry permit issuance policies and laws that make it extremely difficult, if not outright impossible, or impermissibly time-consuming for plaintiffs to obtain permits to carry concealed firearm in public, and therefore to exercise their right to be armed in public as guaranteed by the Second Amendment's text, quote-unquote, bear arms, and as recognized by the Supreme Court in the NYS RPA v. Bruin case. So it continues on here. The main policies that plaintiffs target here are 1. Defendants' failure to timely process carry permit applications. 2. The grossly excessive fees defendants are charging to process permit applications and satisfy various permit requirements. 3. The use of highly subjective suitability criteria in evaluating applicants, and the refusal to honor permits issued by other states. These practices and policies, some of which are enabled by state law, violate the Second Amendment and 14th Amendment. Now, you might have noticed there from the lawsuit that this is not just going after parts of the bill that affect only Californians. It's also going after things in the state that affect people in the rest of the country. For instance, the fact that California does not recognize out-of-state permits. So this is going to be challenging that fact. California doesn't recognize a single other state's permit. So if you want to go visit California, which, believe it or not, is still part of the United States of America, you have to disarm yourself prior to going there. And so again, this lawsuit is not only challenging, the fact that it's expensive and there's time delays and that it blocks an entire class of people from, participating in a right, but it says, hey, and you're kind of violating everybody else's rights by not allowing other permits in your state as well. So very interesting lawsuit, but a very big lawsuit that would set a very big precedent going forward, trying to overturn the rest of SB2. So again, these are all very tactical, the way that they're going about it. The FPC and the GOA and the 2AF and all these people, they know what they're doing. They've done this before. This is nothing new. These agencies and organizations have been around for quite a long time, so they know what they're doing here. You just kind of got to trust the process. And even though it seems like, well, why are they just focused on this area, or why are they just focused on this portion of the law? Understand that the end game is to overturn the entire thing. So you got to have some faith. And one of the best ways to make sure that we move forward with this again is to become members of these places, right? I mean, that's the best thing that you can do to really help out here. I'm not sponsored by any of them, but I love all of them, and I'm members of, well, most of them. So anyway, I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys are interested in videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that little bell notification. That'd be fantastic, and you guys have a great day.